Well, awesome. There are a lot of happy faces right now on this screen, and I welcome everybody here and Happy New Year. I'll bet you've never been happier to say Happy New Year than this year. And in my last role as your 2020 president, I'd like to thank you for joining us and welcome everyone to our virtual volunteer appreciation and installation in honor of Bonnie Nault, your 2021 president, and the many members who helped ECAR the outstanding association that it is. I'd also like to recognize and thank our installing officer, Senator Heather Summers, and special guest Carol Christiansen, who is our 2021 CTR president, for being with us today. Melissa, would you please come forward and do the invocation?
Okay, Greg. Good afternoon, Realtor family. With Martin Luther King Day just around the corner, a few words from him seemed more appropriate. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only hate can do that. As you may have recently heard the phrase in the Realtor community, hate has no home here. I am proud to say that our association is filled with not hate nor darkness, but with inclusion and opportunity. It is with pleasure and gratitude that we join to serve our Realtor communities and welcome new leadership. Thank you for all you do. Let's make 2021 a remarkable year. If we could say the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Thank you, Melissa. And would our past presidents who are here this afternoon please wave, because you're on mute, and say hello. And as I call your name, 2019, Ryan LaJoy. 2018, Matt Lissy. 2011, Samantha Story. 2010, Deb Chamberlain. 2009, Carol Christiansen. 2008, Sue Barnhauser. 2004, Jeannie Fellows Grills. 2000, the millennial, Terry Thomas. 2001, Norm Cram. 1996, Ron Bates. Preceding Ron was 1995, Dan Sperduto. 1991 and 1992, Denise Robillard. 1987 and 1989, Jan Zakowski. I'm sorry for that pronunciation. And 1986, Ed Stebbins. I want to thank each of you for your past service to ECAR. Excuse me. And now to Emeritus. Emeritus is an honor bestowed upon our members who have achieved 40 years of membership with the National Association of Realtors. The criteria now includes a requirement of volunteering as a director and as a committee member, and both the state and local levels, and now requires volunteer service at the national level to get emeritus status. In other words, it's not easy to achieve this milestone. I've got a shout out to emeritus members Norm Cram, Denise Robillard, Dan Sperduto, Leanne Aubry, and Yo-Yo Carroll. If I missed anyone, please announce yourself. You are on mute so we can recognize you for your decades of service. Okay, I think we got everybody. Next is RPAC recognition. Please pay attention to the following people who stepped up and made the investment that was made to real estate, and it helped us be deemed an essential service here in Connecticut during this public health crisis. I'd like to say thank you to everyone who invested $99 or more to RPAC. And if you are one of our 30 major investors, please give us a wave. You major investors are going to be recognized a bit later in our year in review video. And special kudos to our 2020 President's Circle investors. This is a special group. Molly Bruno, Deb Chamberlain, Carol Christiansen, and Marilyn Lusher, and Lorna Gallagher. For those of you who do not know, it takes $3,000 RPAC investment to reach this level. And it comes with a special VI trip. And I know this group is hoping that Maui is going to be able to be visited this April. Thank you for all of you for investing into our business. We'd like to also thank the 2020 committee members and share some of the highlights of 2020. This year, my theme was It's What You Do. This video that you're about to see is a testament to what you did. It's what we did together. Please enjoy the year in review.
Of three things: family, business, and association. Hello, ECAR members. Greg Hanner here, and I'm your 12th.
So it's only
Here with this coronavirus.
Here to address the changing condition on the economy as
with Dustin and who's at ECAR doing
Realtors now getting back to work, they're considered essential.
but it's matzo balls. This is my third ball today.
Another poll question, Susie. We got to get those out of the way.
Number 4, best dress. Who wore it better, Dennis or John?
Wait a minute, before you answer.
Hold on.
Oh, I mean, Dennis, you're the gay guy. You're supposed to be the fashionista.
All right, are we just about ready here? 3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna be.
Hey, John.
Dennis.
Should I put on pants? Is that what should happen?
That's the only reason, John. Camera
Listen,
number 2.
honestly, I know you guys think John and I used to date. We never did. Or did
John, I
we?
think you should demand a recount.
That's funny.
And the funny thing is, Dennis came up from behind.
Oh.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Susie. That's very funny.
Give ourselves a round of applause for 2020 getting written into the history books. My cheeks are hurting just watching that. And now I would like to recognize our 2020 committee chairs. Affiliate Committee, Shirley Mostaway. Commercial Committee, Tim Bray. Community Outreach, Shalita Peterson. Finance, Tom Switz. Forms, Paula Turley. Government Affairs, Marilyn Lusher. Grievance, Henry Gerd. Member Services, Stephanie DiBiase. Professional Standards, Adam Mancini, and YPN, Tia McCloskey. We also have 3 outstanding directors to thank: Carol Christiansen, Quincy Clayton, and Ryan LaJoy. All 3 of them are stepping down this year after their long runs of service to ECAR. Although Carol has stepped down as an ECAR director for this year, we'd like to congratulate you, Carol, on your very special role this year. The floor is yours for a brief update as our very own 2021 CTR President. Carol, take it away.
Thank you, Greg. And I want to thank ECAR for asking me to speak today. I would like to congratulate Bonnie and the executive team and the board of directors. We know that this year is going to be probably another trying year, but I know that ECAR is going to persevere as we did last year under Greg's leadership. I know that all of the board of directors are aware that it's an honor to serve, and I know you'll do your time to the best of your ability. As the CTR president, you're still my board. I plan to be at any events that I possibly can be at, and I hope to see the board of directors there as well. I wanted to give Bonnie a little bit of a quote as well, and this is a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. A good leader inspires people to have confidence in the leader, but a great leader inspires people to have confidence in themselves. And I know that Bonnie will do a great job this year, and I'm proud to be an ECAR member, but now I'll just take a couple of minutes and kind of tell everyone what's going on up at CTR. But remember, I've only been president for 13 days. But I have to tell you that those 13 days have been jam-packed with things. First of all, I just want to remind everybody that the CTR guidelines concerning selling real estate and doing real estate have remained the same, which is, of course, wear your mask and only have decision makers in the house. We're still asking that you not do open houses. We do understand that you are independent contractors and we don't have any right to mandate how you do your business, but that is the guidance, and that we are trying to do our job as safely and interacting with the least amount of people as possible. I just wanted to say a shout out with RPAC again. Last year, there was very little legislative session, as I know Heather Summers is on here with the pandemic, and we expect that this year is going to be a very busy legislative session. So RPAC is going to be more important than ever. So I'm hoping that ECAR is going to remain at the forefront of RPAC I know if Marilyn was here today, she would be asking you all to become major investors. So I'm going to ask on her behalf. She has a tough job. The last 2 years, she has met her major investor goals statewide. So each year, NAR raises her goal by 20%. So it's fantastic. She's hit it the last 2 years. Let's try for year number 3. That helps us to get these meetings with the legislators so that when we have something to speak to them about, we can get their ear. I'll just touch on the vaccine for a minute. I've gotten already letters, calls, people asking me about, because we are a deemed essential, where are we going to be on the vaccine list? And my answer right now is to stay tuned. Right now, essential workers that are getting the vaccine are what they call frontline essential workers. Those are people that by nature of their job are interacting with people that most likely may have the virus. We've told the governor last March that we thought we could do our job safely without having to do that, and hopefully vetting our clients that we're meeting with. I'm not saying we're not going to work hard to get the vaccine to the realtors as quickly as we can, but until we get through these first couple of phases, I think we're just going to have to be a kind of a wait and see attitude, but know that we're looking at it, and we'll certainly let you know if anything changes on that. A really important thing I just want to mention quickly is CTR has developed a new mandatory course. It's on diversity and implicit bias. I would ask all of you, please don't wait till May of 2022 to take that class. That class is going to be, it's fantastic. I've already seen it. Susie's seen it. If you have the opportunity to take it, it's something you need to learn now, not wait another year and a half. It's going on in the world now. It's really a great course. The 3 hours will fly by, and it's not just an instructor speaking to you. There's videos, there's actors portraying real things that have happened to real realtors in the state of Connecticut. So please look for that, and please take it as soon as you can. One more thing really quickly. I'm starting a book club at CTR. Susie must have had some kind of ESP because she gave the outgoing directors the book, The Color of Law. And last November, I told Cindy Butts that that was the first book I wanted on the book club. And we're actually going to have Richard Rothstein speak to us about it. So look for that. That'll be starting at the end of February, and throughout the year, we'll be having different books that we think can help you not only learn to interact better with your clients, but to be better at your business. So with that, I don't want to take up any more time. I'm honored to be the CTR president, but I'm still an ECAR member first. So I hope that you guys will reach out to me if you have questions, and know that I'm doing the best that I can for the state of Connecticut.
Thank you, Carol. And it's an honor for you to be at CTR. And we do know ECAR is your home, and it always will be. And we are now honored to have NAR President Charlie Oppler to provide us with the following remarks to Bonnie and the ECAR Board of Directors, and to share his wisdom for this coming year.
Hello to my friends in Eastern Connecticut. I'm Charlie Oppler, 2021 President of the National Association of Realtors, and it's my honor to join you for the installation of your 2021 leadership team. I'd like to thank incoming President Bonnie Nault and her team for stepping forward to lead, especially now when strong leadership is needed and necessary. I look forward to working with you in the new year. And I'd like to take a moment to celebrate our success in 2020 and send my gratitude for everything all of you have done for consumers in Connecticut. In the face of a pandemic, social injustice protests, and an economic downturn, realtors have been resilient and steadfast. And as a result, our industry has led the nation in economic recovery. That's why we have such a tremendous story to tell in 2020, and I know our story only gets better in 2021. Everything we've accomplished is thanks to our collective, cumulative effort, and because of that, it's appropriate that NAR's theme for 2021 is One Together. In the next year, 4 key goals will drive our focus at NAR. First, we are committed to fighting for expanded housing equality and affordability. Second, we will champion realtors as consumers' best source of information on the real estate transaction. Third, we will enhance member engagement and the member experience. Fourth and finally, we will drive community development. I recognize that making real progress on these 4 priorities will not be easy. But as engaged, committed, and invested community leaders, realtors are in a unique position. Our work powers economic development, affordability, and innovative community design. And we know what our communities need, block by block, city by city. Together, we will lead the way to restore opportunity and prosperity in America in 2021. Congratulations and best wishes to President Bonnie Nault, President-elect Paula Turley, immediate past President Greg Hanner, Treasurer Melissa Giangrasso, Secretary Melody Edelman, and CEO Susie Hurlbert. Thank you all for your commitment to lead. It's an honor to work alongside you and with you, and I look forward to seeing all that we can accomplish together. I wish you all a prosperous, productive, and healthy 2021. Stay safe, and thanks for all you do.
Well, there you go. You heard it from the top of the NAR president, who's leader of 1.4 million realtors across the country. And today we have a special guest with us today, live, Heather Summers, Senator Heather Summers, to install our 2021 Board of Directors. Senator Summers is endorsed by CTR, and she is a longtime friend of ECAR and a strong supporter of home ownership and property rights. She will be speaking briefly for a few minutes on what's going on in Hartford before assuming the role of our installing officer. Welcome, Heather.
Hello, everyone, and thank you to Susie and to Greg for inviting me to be here today. I am absolutely thrilled to be able to be part of your installation and to install my good friend and fellow town councilor at one point, Bonnie Nault. I know that she will be a wonderful president for all of you, and her leadership will be able to be highlighted in this position. I'd also like to thank all of you for everything that you've done for our communities during this time of COVID and the pandemic. Your charity and your inspiration to the community has really been unparalleled, and I cannot thank you enough. It's something that we desperately need, and this has been a difficult time, and you all have risen to the occasion, and I thank you from the ranking member of the Public Health Committee and also a member of the Governor's Vaccine Task Force. And it's really quite something. It's amazing how you guys do such incredible community outreach, and I don't think sometimes you get enough thanks for all that you do. So thank you again. My name is Heather Summers, and this is my 3rd term as a senator. I'm going into my 5th year. I serve as the public health. I used to be the chair. Now I'm the ranking member of public health. I'm the ranking member on transportation. I sit on appropriations. I also am a member of the Vaccine Task Force, which you can imagine is extremely busy. And I sit on executive nominations for the governor. So this is going into my 3rd term. This session is very different than any session we've had before because the rules have been passed to make this a virtual session, which has benefits, but it also has constraints that everyone needs to be concerned about. My focus really has been for a very long time to try to deliver relief for property tax in Connecticut, because that is a driving factor of moving certain individuals, especially those who are retired, out of our state. I continue to be focused on small businesses, and that is something that is in my mindset every time we pass any kind of legislation. I clearly understand the importance of attracting and retaining good paying jobs here, strengthening our schools and our communities, and creating conditions for all of us in Connecticut and families to grow and be homeowners at some point in time. My focus on building bipartisan consensus on policies that affect the middle class so they are able to afford homes, but it's also on playing defense on some of the legislation that we see coming out of the state capitol that may not be very good for the middle class. It may not be good for home ownership, and that I focus on not getting those passed at our state capitol. One of those would be something like increasing the conveyance tax, which we have heard once again. But I really think this year our policies in Hartford need to be focused on getting the pandemic under control, restarting our economy, and getting our state budget in line. As you can imagine, we are looking at serious deficits in 23 and 24 going forward, significant deficits that are going to need really a restructuring of how we do business in the state of Connecticut. So as the ranking senator on transportation, we're going to be dealing with some things that you may have seen on come out along in the paper. One of them has to do, it's called a TCI plan, which really is a increase in the gas tax at the wholesale price, which will be passed down to the consumer. We also have a proposal for tolls, even though we were told that tolls would not be on the agenda. Again, my stance on those two things are those are regressive taxes that do not help our middle class, and especially in the time of pandemic when so many people have been laid off and are struggling to maintain their homes. I do not believe this is the appropriate time to implement additional taxes, and people can only take so much out of their wallet once again here in the state of Connecticut. As the ranking member on public health, as well as the chair of the subcommittee to communicate everything happening on the vaccine, good public health policy will help us get our economy up and rolling. One of the things that we have seen during COVID in the healthcare industry or area is that there are certain areas that have come to light as being critical and that need change. So we are trying to codify those changes that have been made that are positive under the executive order of the governor and be able to put those in legislation. Things like telehealth that have been invaluable during the pandemic. There's a whole other list that I don't want to get into and bore you with, but things that have really moved the needle in a positive way. And I've said this for also businesses too. If there's things that you have seen in the businesses and the business people that you talk to that have been positive under the executive order, please let us know, because those are things that we have an opportunity to make permanent in this legislative session. I also would have everybody keep their eye on this new zoning bill that is coming out from planning and development, I believe. And this would change the way planning and zoning is done throughout communities. This would be the state deciding where and when affordable housing would be put into communities. It sounds interesting in theory, but when you look at the details, the requirement for some of our small rural towns that don't have the infrastructure to support this type of housing could be very detrimental. So we're going to rely on you all, because you're the experts, to help give feedback on how you feel this would affect your communities. It's very important that we hear from you on that particular bill. And that's something that is a priority out of planning and development. Appropriations, we're going to be dealing with the budget. Again, we don't want to see these sneaky little taxes that will turn up on things like house sales to try to narrow that budget deficit. So keep your eye on that. I will keep you informed if I see anything that may be detrimental to what I think that, your focus is as folks that are in the industry of real estate. And I'm also going to be watching for unfunded mandates for small businesses. Typically our legislators like to sit these little nickel and dime fees here, doubling this, and they really add up for people. So, I know that you have a lobbyist firm that watches on this, but I will try to make sure that Bonnie knows everything that I know as far as any little hidden agendas that may be negative for your particular industry. I also wanted to let you know that I want to continue to try to be your voice in the legislature. Again, this is going to be a weird session because everything's virtual. Many of us have felt we should not make large policy changes in this time, because everyone will have to testify in your public hearing via Zoom. And not everybody has technology to be able to do a Zoom hearing. Some people don't have consistent broadband. So we really were hoping that we would do any major type of policy changes in the next session when COVID hopefully is past us, but that doesn't appear to be the case. So there is an opportunity to push through legislation that may not be very helpful quickly because of the virtual nature of the session. Public hearings only have to be posted 6 hours in advance, not 24 hours like we normally have. So there's been a lot of changes to the rules, and it's going to be really important for everyone to keep their eye on exactly what's happening in Hartford. It's also very difficult to run from one Zoom meeting to the other like we used to in Hartford when we'd have 3 different public hearings going on at the same time, or committee meetings. You know, getting off and on technology for different Zoom meetings is really tough. So we will keep you posted. It's going to be an interesting ride over the next year. I also wanted to just let you know that anybody, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. My website is heather.summers@cga.ct.gov. Feel free to give me your comments, feedback, input. I'm always here to listen. You can call me, you can email me, and I will get back to you. So you're on the ground, you see the trends. Feel free to use me as your conduit to get your message to the legislature or to the governor. I'm happy to do that. And I know these are very challenging times. You guys have done an amazing job. I actually purchased a foreclosure during the middle of COVID, wearing masks, and moved. So I am not only sympathetic, I'm empathetic. It was a complete nightmare, but we made it through. And the whole idea of, you know, showing your house but not showing it. And I know that there was consumers concerned. I was concerned. Do I want to show my house to somebody coming from New York? New York has this hotspot of COVID. So I am very empathetic to all that you have done, but the good news is I see, at least in our area, houses are selling very quickly and at an increased rate, which is great, except when you have to pay the property taxes. So with these challenging times, I'm really looking forward to working together with you. I love Southeastern Connecticut. I want to empower you to be as successful as you can, and I want to do everything that I can to help our region thrive. I know you all feel the same way. So COVID, the state budget, stabilizing our economy, getting people back to work, getting more money in people's wallets so we can have them be able to afford a home. Those are all things that are very important to me. So don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thanks for inviting me. And the one last thing I will say is, if you are interested, because I am on this vaccine committee, and I heard you talking about when realtors are going to be in the 1B phase, if you are interested, we are setting up forums for your membership or your friends and family that we can do with somebody from the subcommittee on communications. We have the scientific availability of someone who has reviewed all the information on the vaccine, and doctors that can answer any questions concerning the vaccine. We're happy to set up those forums for your membership if people are interested, and they can ask us anything they want on the vaccine. So thank you, and I'm really excited to finish your installation.
Hey,
Unmute myself.
Hey, Greg,
Thank you.
Let's say one thing. Heather, I was the realtor that brought your buyers from New York. So I know what she's talking about. I was the one that sold our house on the other side with the New York buyers. So it was a challenge, to say the least. So just want to say, it was nice.
They still ask me questions about the house, by the way.
I'm so sorry. We'll talk off the record later. Okay, guys.
Well, thank you, Senator Summers, and it's great to have someone like you representing Eastern Connecticut and our homeowners. And stay with us because you'll be doing our swearing in. And now I would like to introduce the 2021 Board of Directors and the CTR State Directors. We have Anne Marie Bellinoit, Molly Bruno, Mary Casabria, Stephanie DiBiase, Rose Epham, Melody Edelman, Norm Cram, Matthew Lissy, Marilyn Lusher, Adam Mancini, Tia McCloskey, Kathy Newland, and Shalita Peterson, rounding out the 2021 ECAR board. And your 2021 officers for this year are Secretary Melanie Elliman, Treasurer Melissa Giangrastio, President-elect Paula Turley, and of course, 2021, Bonnie Nault is your president. And next, I've got your 2021 state directors, and we are with 3 representatives for our association: Bonnie Nault, Melissa Jean Grasso, and Melody Edelman. And I'll turn it back over to you, Heather.
Okay. Today, you are accepting leadership, which is of utmost importance. You have been elected this year as leaders of the Eastern Connecticut Association of Realtors. You're considered the leaders in real estate and are knowledgeable about problems in our industry. Therefore, a greater responsibility rests upon you as the officers and the directors. During the coming year, you will be identified as official representatives of your association by the business community and must therefore conduct yourselves accordingly. In accepting a leadership position with ECAR, you dedicate yourself to the work and the welfare of your fellow realtors in your community. In the coming year as leadership, you will enjoy many new and lasting friendships and will experience personal satisfaction that comes only through service, cooperation, and unselfish interest on the behalf of others. Your reward will be great, but leaders know the balance of family, business, and association. Nurture all 3 and you will have a great year. Now for the oath of office. Please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly and sincerely promise that you will administer the office or offices of the term to which you have been elected to the best of your ability and judgment, in conformity with the bylaws of the Eastern Connecticut Association of Realtors, Inc.? That you will observe and enforce the code of ethics of the realtors and uphold and support the Connecticut Association of Realtors and National Association of Realtors, as well as supporting the Connecticut Real Estate Commission in its enforcement and license laws. That all your acts will be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and fair play, and endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interests of our state, the high purpose of your association, and the welfare of its membership. If so, please answer, I do.
I do.
By the virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I do hereby proclaim each of you to be duly installed into the office to which you have been elected. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you so much. I think, Susie, do we have a plaque?
We do.
So, Greg, on behalf of the members, directors, affiliates, and staff of Eastern Connecticut Association of Realtors, and in recognition of your leadership and dedicated service to the association, as well as to CTR and NAR, we present this plaque to you as a small token of our appreciation and respect. Thank you so much. We're happy to have you still on our board.
Thank you, Bonnie. And I'm going to make a promise here that my outgoing remarks are definitely going to be shorter than my incoming, which is now etched in stone as the second longest speech, only to Quincy Clayton's, which remains the longest in ECAR history. I've got 5 thoughts that I'd like to share with each of you today. First, I want to circle back to the presidents who I learned from when I first became a director on the board of directors back in, I believe it was 2015. And I want to spotlight them because I watched them and I learned from them. Mary Casabria, Marilyn Lusher, Matt Lissy, and Ryan LaJoy. What I did this past year as your president was only possible by the inspiration that I received and what was, given to me during your terms in office. Second, I'd like to say to each of the 2020 committee chairs, vice chairs, and the 2020 ECAR committee members, thank you for serving this past year. It's your commitment to be engaged with our association as a realtor and an affiliate, and it's hands down one of the things that makes ECAR special. During 2020, ECAR was the gold standard of associations at the state level during our president's meetings that past president, CTR President Joanne Breen held throughout the year. My third point, I'd like to spotlight how blessed we really are to have a remarkable staff led by CEO Susie, followed by Catherine and Stephanie. Let's give a round of applause because they are the constant in ECAR, okay? You each did a remarkable job pivoting to serve our membership virtually. And I know how the transformation from live to virtual, it was not an easy one for each of you. And thank you for the extra effort, the countless hours that were put in to spend learning this new technology that we're all using today, and for keeping ECAR running for our members. My fourth point, I'd like to thank the 2020 Board of Directors and leadership team for your hard work, especially for your flexibility in my calling unexpected, unscheduled meetings early in the year. The perspective that you each bring to the table is a key ingredient that keeps ECAR moving forward. It's your engagement that it inspires others at ECAR member to become engaged, especially when they see the difference that we make in our members' businesses and in our community outreach efforts, which were remarkable despite the pandemic that we've endured all this year. And now let me get to my fifth and final point, and that is to put a spotlight on our 2021 president, Bonnie Nault. I learned back in May of 2018 that Bonnie was really special. We were in DC on Capitol Hill, and we were moving from one venue to another during my first NAR mid-year conference. I had never been there for the DC event. Guess who blazed the trail across the greens in the monuments and through in the back door, out the front door of particular buildings to keep us on schedule and to get us there? It was Bonnie. I was following in Bonnie's footsteps. And you can ask, Ed and Marilyn Lusher. They were behind us. It was like 90 degrees. Bonnie was the leader. Her nickname definitely should be the Energizer Bunny. It was Bonnie that got us to Joe Courtney's office on time. Bonnie's credentials, I'm just going to say it, they speak for themselves. And I'm looking forward to this year's leadership and Bonnie's leadership shining through for ECAR this year. I hope that as soon as we can get back to in-person association activities, that Bonnie can attend to the unfinished goals that I'm leaving behind my term. And I hate leaving things undone, but I'm going to spotlight them so that hopefully these loose ends can be tied in the very near future. Number one, the habitat build. We didn't get to do that as an association. Number two, the push for agent education in the area of construction to elevate their knowledge in the area of homes and their systems and what makes a home tick. We need to do better in that area. Number three, I hope we can have a more successful blood drive, and thank you to the 34 people that gave 34 pints. I tried to make it to 100, Carol, in honor of the 100th year of CTR. Did my best, but we only got 34. Let's do better this year. Number four, let's renew our collaboration and continue our collaboration with the Builders Association. And finally, let's find and purchase a building for ECAR so we can stop leasing. Now, normally I would present a pin and a gavel to Bonnie. I can't do that today. So I'm just going to have to hand over the microphone to Bonnie and introduce you to your 2021 president. Big round of applause for Bonnie Nault.
you. Thank you so much, Greg. Thanks for those comments. I thank you so much, President Carol, President Charlie Oppler, and Senator Summers for your updates. I'm honored and very grateful to be here in front of you, or at least virtually in front of you. I'd like to thank all my coworkers and members who have logged in to watch this official transfer of the gavel and to see the new board of directors get sworn in. Unfortunately, we won't be able to have a dance party after the speeches like last year with my coworkers band. Hopefully by this summer, ECAR can have a member appreciation party instead. But seeing the number of you that signed up, it reminds me of how great this association is. We have members that are professional, believe in the code of ethics, and love to get involved. I'm proud to be a part of the ECAR volunteers who get to work with the amazing ECAR staff. They quietly bring us all the classes, service, and tools that we need to do our jobs, and that's worth celebrating. I selected can do as my ECAR saying this year, and I thought I'd explain it. In my first career, I was in the Navy Civil Engineer Corps, the officer branch that leads the Seabees, runs the public works of all our Navy, Marine Corps, and some Air Force bases, and runs facility management contracts on these bases around the world. I spent time doing all these jobs, but my favorite time was the time I spent with the Seabees. I was fortunate enough to have a good run, serve my country, and retire as a captain. The official motto of the Seabees is, "We build, we fight." The CB units are called construction battalions, and their attitude to get things done is captured with the often quoted can-do saying. CBs not only improve local and global communities with their amazing construction efforts, but are called on to solve very unique problems like building runways and cleaning up after natural disasters. They usually figure it out with their can-do spirit while happily serving the country. Unique problems and figuring them out on the fly, doesn't that sound kind of like our realtor roles? We build and sustain relationships in local communities while honoring our code of ethics as we look to gain the trust and respect of our buyers and sellers and other realtors while solving these problems. I've always been a firm believer in surrounding yourself with successful people who want to give back. Being on the ECAR and CTR board of directors, I'm surrounded by extremely successful and caring people. Greg, you did such a great job during this pandemic leading our board, and I'm glad you're going to still be here to help us. I'm so looking forward to 2021 and working closely with Susie Hurlbert, our CEO, the executive team of Paula, Melissa, Melody, and Greg, as well as Catherine and Stephanie, who seamlessly run this ECAR organization. The staff may be small, but they are mighty. This brings me to a few of our strategic objectives I'll touch on quickly today. One of which is to continue to follow former President Matt Lissy's dream and Greg's of owning our own headquarters. As president, I hope to guide ECAR through the process of purchasing an investment that will appropriately house our association and at the same time improve its financial strength if we find the right spot. Government Affairs and Realtors Political Action Committee, RPAC, has always been a huge passion of mine, as many of you know when I call you every year for contributions. The realtors have a huge voice locally, statewide, and nationally, and it is RPAC that makes this possible. Being recognized as essential to business in this state was a direct result of the relationships that are built from RPAC, like our one with Senator Summers. I will continue working hard to preserve and protect our businesses as we know it and to maximize home ownership in Connecticut. 2020 was a stark reminder of how important home ownership is and how we as realtors are essential to the transaction. Because of the pandemic, Connecticut was fortunate to have many buyers trying to move to less populated areas. We had and continue to have an opportunity to help drive the state economy. It's important to support NAR and CTR with their legislative agendas that help shape the state economy and our realtor business. And that includes giving to RPAC. ECAR is an absolute leader in major investors, and I sincerely want to thank them. But if we all could give something, this will help advance home ownership for all people, no matter their race, creed, or color. In this effort, like NAR President Charlie Oppler said, we are all one together. Just like the CB's vision, utilizing our relationships and resources to help the community is another objective of mine. We'll be asking you to identify any special expertise that you may have that might help ECAR increase relationships with the community. ECAR already has a can-do approach to getting things done, no matter what. A recent example of this was the community benefit raffle. This group did not let COVID-19 get the best of them. They adapted, maximized their people resources, and by that I mean John and Dennis, which you saw a video clip of. They worked within safety guidelines to bring you a virtual community benefit that we've never seen before, and maybe I hope we never see again. There was a lot of eggnog shared that day. Together, ECAR gave nearly $15,000 that provided much needed resource to several charities. As it is with CB's, can do means reaching out and getting more involved with like-minded organizations like the Builders Association, your town boards, and our local chambers of commerce. It's our intention to bring you national speakers Marky Lemons and Leigh Brown to our resource conference in Foxwoods this fall, in person hopefully, to inform, educate, and raise your game in the ever-changing competitive world of real estate. Thanks, as always, to our affiliates. This conference will be affordable and hopefully a highlight of your year. Let me close by saying ECAR can do. I'm open to helping our members in any way I can and to help each of you have your best year ever. That means all the members, whether you do one deal or 30 a year, your voice matters. I challenge you to join the ECAR volunteers and say, I too can do. Be adaptable, be ethical, and be resourceful. And let's have a good time serving each other. I know you can do. Thank you very much. And now Susie has some additional things to share.
Well done, Bonnie. Thank you so much.
I think I beat Quincy's time.
Really impressed with both of you. Okay, we're just about done here. Don't anybody get off. We forgot to mention that we do have some raffle prizes for those of you who are still in attendance. And I want to say that ECAR is also well known for its valued relationships with our affiliates. You guys are truly the backbone of our association. Together, realtors and affiliates have a very strong connection to the community. And together we help share in helping people achieve their dream of home ownership. It is not without the generous support of our sponsors who help make these events possible. And I strongly encourage you to introduce yourselves and become familiar with our appraisers, attorneys, inspectors, lenders, insurers, and all our affiliate members who help you manage a smooth real estate transaction. And now I'd like to take some time to introduce you to all of our annual sponsors and give them a chance to introduce themselves. We've got our diamond sponsors. Please, Dustin Maurice, introduce yourself. Don't forget to unmute. Is Dustin on?
This is my third Zoom call today, and I keep forgetting to unmute, so I will never get used to this. I just want to say thank you. Introduce myself, Dustin Maurice with Green Home Solutions, indoor environmental professional company. We specialize in mold, area, virus, and disinfection. Just want to say congratulations to Bonnie. Good work. It's going to be fun working with you guys. And I cannot wait for some normalcy, and I think we're going to be there by June. That's my prediction. So thank you. I'm not going to take much of your time, and good luck to everybody, and keep killing it.
Thank you, Dustin. And how about Chris Albanese? Is Chris on the call? Another one of our Diamond sponsors, David Johnston with Prime Lending.
Hi, everybody. David Johnston, Prime Lending. Just wanted to say Happy New Year and congratulations, Bonnie, and the rest of the leadership team for 2021. I do want to take a quick minute and talk about the real estate market right now. We know we're in a limited inventory situation. It's definitely a seller's market. We've got multiple offers going on. We've got a lot of frustrated borrowers out there right now. So I want to suggest something. Instead of losing those frustrated borrowers, which I'm seeing a lot happen, people saying, you know what, I'm just getting out of this market, it's crazy. Try this instead. Take the price range that your borrower was approved for, drop it by $50,000 to $100,000. Look at the inventory that's out there right now and talk about doing a renovation loan. This opens up a new batch of inventory for your borrowers where we can take them. Maybe they find a house in the town they're looking for, the school system, and we get them into a renovation home and make that home their dream home. So think about that process. If you have any questions about it, let me know. We're still closing renovation loans in less than 60 days. Happy New Year, and everybody stay healthy.
Thank you, David. And Tom Morgan with Sound Home Inspection.
Good afternoon, everyone, and Happy New Year. Congratulations, Bonnie. Two of my uncles were CBs as well. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I'd like to talk to you about that another time.
Yeah.
Great experience, I'm sure. So I wanted to say thank you to all who supported Sound Home Inspection. We really had a fantastic year. We did some testing for COVID. I went twice to get tested just to be on the safe side. Neither one of us were affected, but we do feel for those families and others, and we pray for those families who had situations where they had losses. It was a difficult year for those people. And we continue this time of year to look at the possibility of doing pre-home inspections for any of your clients who are interested in putting their houses on the market, but they are interested in maybe finding out some of the things that they can do to prepare their houses for the market. We've talked about the possibility of just doing a walkthrough. In other words, providing no report, but just kind of giving as a consultation some of your clients some feedback on things that they could improve in order to make the sale of their house quick and smooth. So that's a possibility that we are offering, as well as all the other services that we offer: home inspections, septic inspections, termite, radon and air, water testing. And again, thank you, everyone. And I'm glad to see so many people here. Congratulations again, Bonnie. And thank you, Greg, for all of your support throughout 2020 and beyond. Thank you.
April. And our platinum sponsors from Chelsea Groton Bank, represented by Matt Morrell.
Hey, everybody. Happy New Year. Congratulations to the outgoing directors and the incoming directors. And congratulations to everyone for adapting their businesses in this year and for becoming teachers and homeschoolers and all that other stuff that we've all had to do. Everybody deserves a pat on their back. It was definitely a challenging year, no less than for us lenders who, on top of the pandemic, we're dealing with historically low interest rates and bulging volumes. Despite it all, at Chelsea, we were able to do over 1,200 units for $265 million. We helped 328 of your customers get into homes for about $80 million, 64 construction loans and 22 land loans. And really importantly is we had 155 folks buy their first homes. And I know that a lot of you partnered with us to do that. So thank you. We took advantage of the low down payment programs like CHFA, who gave $5 million to 31 of our borrowers. ECHO gave $38,000 to one of our new home buyers. And 6 people used the Federal Home Loan Bank of Boston's program for a total of $75,000 to 6 first-time home buyers. Our youngest first-time home buyer was 19 years old. Our oldest first mortgage recipient was 75 years old. And our lowest first mortgage loan amount was about $30,000, and our highest was $1.9 million. So in the midst of those ranges lies all of your customers, and we appreciate the partnership, and congratulations again. And here's for better things in 2021. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Matt. And from Gateway Mortgage, is Victoria or Dorothy Sadi on the line? Okay, and I can tell you guys that Keith Turner from Homestead Funding Corp would normally be on to say hello and congratulations. However, tomorrow he's getting married.
Yeah.
So he's preparing for that. I know. Congratulations to Keith. We also have as a platinum sponsor, but not on the call, Liberty Bank and Pam Days Luketish. John Peck and Chinesky. John, are you still on the call?
I am still on the call. Yes, I am.
Today.
Bonnie, congratulations.
Thank you.
I hope you and your team have a great 2021. Greg, great year. I mean, tough circumstances, but seeing the background that you had on every one of your Zoom calls made me realize that, you know, I could live anywhere I want, just sit on a Zoom call all day. Obviously, 2020 was tough in the real estate community. I mean, great year in terms of business, but tough in terms of getting things done all around. I've talked to numerous of my colleagues in terms of how we expect things to develop over the next 12 months, and I think that there are going to be some changes that you guys probably all might realize already. I think the days of us all getting together and doing a closing are probably done. Most attorneys find it incredibly more efficient to handle closings the way we are now. The one change that I can tell you at least will happen in my office once COVID is a thing of the past is that realtors will obviously be invited back into our office to meet with their clients when we're meeting with them. But sellers will almost always be pre-signing now, and then documents delivered to the other side and funds delivered in similar ways that they've been delivered. They're being delivered now. Buyers agents will still be able to pick up their checks at the closing table once they're at the closing table. Sellers agents will still get their checks a little later because the transaction's not happening at the time that people sign the documents on the sell side. But every attorney thinks that it's much more efficient to do it this way. So I think that's what you're going to see going forward. There might be people who feel differently, but just thought I'd give you that heads up. And otherwise, I hope all of you have as good, if not better, a year in 2021 as it relates to business as you did in 2020. I can only hope for the same for my office, and thank you all for that. You guys take care. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And from Skip's Wastewater Management, represented by Andrew Coleman, I believe he is not on the call. Same with Sunrise Home Inspection, and Kevin Power is one of our platinum sponsors. And Tiger Home and Building Inspections, represented by Sue Fasciani. I believe, Sue, you are on the call.
Yes, hi. Thank you, Susie. I appreciate being here today. And Bonnie, congratulations, and look forward to working with you in 2021. And Greg, you did a fantastic job this past year, as did the ECAR team. So I really appreciate that. Nice job. It wasn't easy. I know that, trying to conform to this new Zoom platform and keep your members engaged. I do want to say that I am very appreciative to be an affiliate member, and I support your membership, your realtors, because, you know, we at Tiger appreciate all the referrals that we've been given and the support from realtors. We were happy to be deemed essential for, you know, the COVID period of time. And unfortunately, it's still going on. So we will continue to implement our PPE. We did transform our office staff as well as all of our inspectors to have some, you know, really strict PPE guidelines in place in order to keep everybody safe. And we will continue to follow the CTR guidelines as well. Dave, I love your suggestion about bringing the home price down for that search and looking into doing a renovation. That is wonderful. And I just want to share with everybody, you might not know it, but we do have a HUD consultant on our staff. We have two actually. So if you have clients that are thinking about, you know, oh, will this home need some renovations more than just, you know, some general maintenance items, you know, you call Tiger and we can set you up with that home inspector because they can just turn it right into the HUD inspection at no extra charge. So it's a great way to go. Lastly, I just want to say, again, I do appreciate everything that ECAR does, and I look forward to working with you in 2021, and I wish everyone the best in 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. And we do have one gold sponsor, Commission Express, represented by Ryan Began. I believe he is not on the call. But thanks to all of our affiliates, not just our annual sponsors, but to all of our affiliates. As you can see, we all work together. We are one big family, and we're all very appreciative of that relationship. I know Bonnie and Greg have both thanked my staff profusely, but I would be remiss if I didn't also thank my wonderful staff, my member services director, Catherine O'Leary, and my handy right-hand person and lockbox coordinator, Stephanie Bishop. So thank you to my staff for helping to make sure this went smoothly today and every day. Okay, we have a great year planned ahead, starting with our next membership meeting, which is on Wednesday, February 10th. We will be bringing back affiliate member Greg Antipoff for another tax update and everything COVID related as well. I haven't confirmed Deona Gregory yet, but hopefully she is available to update us on the landlord-tenant issues. Also, please mark your calendar for the resource conference. We are crossing our fingers that we can hold that live in person at Foxwoods, September 22nd to 23rd. Our lineup of national speakers and instructors includes Brian Blasco, Marky Lemons Royale, who you all remember from our first resource conference and the ePro class she taught, and the NAR VP of Advocacy and an RPAC Hall of Famer, Leigh Brown. In fact, I have a clip from Leigh Brown for you guys, so let me get that queued up.
Hello, Eastern Connecticut. Leigh Brown here from North Carolina. And I just want to start off by saying thank you to all of you who led in 2020 in the most unexpected year anybody ever wished for, because somebody in this room, you wished for 2020 and you claimed it was going to be your year, so you're responsible. So I'm pretty sure that none of y'all on New Year's Eve claimed 2021 in advance. But let's go ahead and claim it, because Bonnie, I'm so excited for you to take the reins, and I know that you're going to bring energy and ideas and a whole bunch of goodwill to the membership here. And of course, Susie, high five for all that you've done to cat herd adult volunteers. I mean, when it wasn't pandemic, it was tricky enough, am I right? But let's think about what we've signed up for, friends. I think we lose sight of that once in a while as realtor volunteers, because in our day-to-day lives, we're out there helping buyers make good decisions, because you make money on real estate when you buy, and you help sellers make good decisions. And in 2020, we learned how to guide people through CDC guidelines and virtual showings and no overlaps. And wow, look at what you've done. And when you think about what you do in your day-to-day businesses, ask yourself what you can do to bring that to volunteer life. How can you be the one who leads with grace and finds a way to find that middle ground where solutions can happen? So just as you're finding your clients in the space where they are when it comes to fear and public health and safety and homeschooling and everything else our neighbors are faced with. Let's extend that same kind of grace and questioning to our realtor members. Because remember, the members we have today are not always the same members we're going to have when I see y'all in September, because I'm coming in September. Yay! We're going to have new realtors between now and then. What kind of an association are they coming into? Are they coming into one that's willing to mentor them and guide them and give great advice? And when your listing gets an offer from one of these new members and it's full of holes, are you going to take them to the woodshed, or are you going to call them and say, hey, friend, let me just tell you how this works, and protect and guard all parties from a liability and a decent humanity standpoint? We're also going to have members with us right now who will be gone by September, whether they've retired and moved to a nice warm island off of Florida, or they have passed on to their great reward. So what are they going to leave behind as a legacy? Well, that's what happens between now and not just September when I come to visit, because I know that's on your calendar already. I mean, it's like, let me look and see what date that is. The 22nd and 23rd, I guess I'm with y'all forever, but actually beyond that. So as you plan your 2021, ask yourself what you personally are going to do to make not just this profession better by taking your game up a notch and leaning into the code of ethics and leaning into fair housing and leaning into mentorship and apprenticeship in a way that's going to leave the profession better than you found it. But what are you going to do in your community? What are you going to do in your home relationships to strengthen all of those newly found ties that were created during COVID? I hope that you're going to find that amazing place and that you're going to share it with each of us, because Bonnie might be your president this year. And high five, sister. I am grateful for you serving, but it's not just Bonnie's year. It's your year too. You're a member of this association. We need to hear your voice. We need to know what's happening with you. And when you have successes, please share it. And when you have challenges, share that too, because I know this about real estate life. We can do a lot of really good things house by house by ourselves. But when we learn how to work together, it's just like our MLS. The data is better when we share great data together. The deals are better when we share great information and cooperation together. And we get to accomplish amazing things on the advocacy front when we work together. So make that part of your goal in 2021. And frankly, make the other part of your goal to save your calendar the 22nd and 23rd of September for when I come to visit, because I need some realtor hugs. But in the meantime, thank you for serving. Thank you for showing up, showing out, and putting forth the best version of real estate possible. If there's anything I can do for you from North Carolina, y'all know where to find me. And until then, I'll see you soon.
All right. Okay. We are just about done. I believe it is time for our raffles. Catherine, are you with me?
I'm here.
Okay, we have a couple of raffles. The first one will be for a $150 ECAR voucher to use any way you want, whether it's to register for the resource conference, take a couple of CE classes, or anything that we have to offer or sell to you. It will be there for you. The second one is one Central Lock lockbox, and I believe the value is about $92 plus tax. And then I have 3 phone sanitizers, which were about 25 bucks. And here's one of these phone. You put your phone in it and hook it up, and the UV light sanitizes it. So how do you like that? Okay, Catherine, let's do our first raffle. You do have to be present. So if you're all on this call listening, then you are eligible. Go ahead, Catherine. This is for the $150 ECAR voucher.
All right, so it's going to go to Ann Ogden.
Ooh, all right. Okay. And the next one is for a Central Lock box. And if it's an affiliate, well, you can just pass that on to one of your favorite realtors, I guess. So go ahead, Catherine.
All right, so I have pulled Mary Pula.
All right.
Yay.
All right, a phone sanitizer. First one goes to?
Brian McCarthy.
All right. And the next one?
That would be Carol Christiansen.
Whoop, whoop. Okay.
And the last one.
Victoria Sadi.
Beautiful. You guys, thank you for hanging in there today for this hour and a half. I sure do wish we were all having some libations and listening to Tony Wallstra or enjoying our company together, but I do appreciate you being part of the ECAR family and checking in and seeing what's going on out of the gate fresh for 2021. Do I think it's going to be a good year? I do. So appreciate that. Please continue to be vigilant, stay safe. Although we are past 2020, we are not past the pandemic. So please continue to do what you can to stay safe, keep your clients safe, and I want to see you all year long. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Susie. Happy New Year, everybody.
Congratulations, Bonnie.
Thank you.